Hi guys, so I'm Junhao here. This video I'm going to go through the trial SPM Mathematic for Pahang, and this is for paper 1. All right, so let's start. Okay, number 1. What is the value of the digit 7 in base 10 for the number 2753 base 8? This is obviously number base chapter, from 4 chapter. So when we do this question, we have to read the question what they want. If they ask for digit value, then you have to take the place value times with the digit. But if they ask for place value, you just write down the place value. Okay, what do I mean by that? Let me write it down for you. 2753 base 8. If we want to write the place value, the nilai tempat, we will look at the base. If it's base 8, then we will start with 8 power 0, 8 power 1, 8 power 2, 8 power 3. Okay, and we always write from right to left. Okay, so we start from here. So power 0, power 1, power 2, power 3. Always start with power 0. And what we do now, if we want to convert to base 10, we will take all these. We will take the 8 power 3 times 2, 8 power 2 times 7, 8 power 1 times 5, 8 power 0 times 3, and tambah all together, plus all together, if you want to change to base 10. But this time they only want the value of digit 7 in base 10. So what you do is you only take 8 power 2 times 7. So the answer will be 8 power 2 times 7, right? So if you press this, you get the answer. So let me just press in my calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 448, so the answer is C, right? So very simple. One more thing you have to be careful. Sometimes they don't want you to find the value of the digit. Maybe they just want to find the place value, all right? So they will say something like this. What is the place value of the 7? Okay, if they ask like that, then your answer will be 8 power 2, which is 64, because they only want the place value. Okay, place value is just the one I write above here, right? But if they want the value of the digit, ataupun the digit value, then you have to times, all right? So yang tu kena tahu lah. Okay, continue. Number 2. The length and width of the rectangle is this and this. Find the perimeter in cm of rectangle. Give your answer in standard form. Okay, the length and width is also given in standard form. And they want to find perimeter, and all your answer is in standard form as well. So what I will do is, first I will just draw a rectangle. Okay, so it's like easy to imagine. So the length is 4.5 exponent 5. All right. Okay, and then this one is 2.4 exponent 4. All right, or you can call it 2.4 times 10 power 4 lah, and they are both in cm. All right, so the unit is already same, and then they want to find perimeter is also in cm. So give your answer in the standard form. So everything is in cm, so I don't think I have to convert the unit. I just have to find perimeter lah, right? Okay, how to find perimeter? You have to add all these 4 sides together, right? So you will take 4.5 exponent 5 plus 4.5 exponent 5. It means 2 bracket 4.5 times 10 power 5, right? Because you are taking 4.5 times 10 power 5 plus dia sendiri, right? So plus again with 2 times 2.4 times 10 power 4. Okay. If you don't want to write like this, you can also write 4.5 times 10 power 5 plus 4.5 times 10 power 5 plus 2.4 times 10 power 4 plus 2.4 times 10 power 5. Can also, okay? It's the same thing. Okay, what I'll do here is I'll take the 2 I times 4.5, I'll get 9 times 10 power 5. Right? And then 2 times 2.4 is 4.8 times 10 power 4. Okay, the number you will only derive with the number lah. Okay, since all my answer is in standard form, what I will do is I will use a different method to plus. All right, of course you can also just put in all of this inside your calculator, but instead of doing that, I want to use a different method. So I will show you now. What I will do is I will look at the 10 power 5, 10 power 4. I will choose the smaller power. So which one is the smaller power? Power 4, and I will try to change this so that it's the same power with the big power. So 10 power 4, what I will do is I will plus 1. Okay, because I want the power to be same. But when I plus 1, when I plus, I have to move my decimal point to the left. And if I minus, I have to move my decimal point to the right. Okay, so what happens if I plus 1 here? It means the decimal point I have to move in front. So now it becomes 9 times 10 power 5 plus the 4.8. I move the decimal point to the left, so it becomes 0.48 times 10 power 5. And kenapa saya buat macam tu? So that I can factorize out the 10 power 5. Because this one got 10 power 5, this also got 10 power 5. I can take out the 10 power 5 like this, right? So what's left inside this bracket is just 9 plus 0.48. You understand? Because the 10 power 5, I take it out, and then the 10 power 5, I take it out. So inside here, you left with 9 plus 0.48. It means you factorize lah, right? So now the answer will be 9.48 times 10 power 5, right? So the answer is D. Of course, there's also another method where you just put in all this inside your calculator, okay, and then you convert to standard form. You can also straight away do it like this, right? It's just that if you don't want to use like, it's just that if you use the method like this, then you will also get the same answer. Okay, so it's up to you lah. You can just press inside your calculator also, right? You will get the same answer. All right, number 3, diagram 1 shows the distance time graph of a runner. This is distance, this is time, and the unit is meter second. Always check the unit. Okay, now we read the question. Given the speed of the runner is 5, state the value of x. So this is distance time graph. How do you find this? How do you find speed from distance time graph? You use gradient, right? Why? Why you can use gradient to find speed? Because this formula for speed is distance over time. Okay, and the formula for gradient is what? You take the difference in y-axis bahagi difference in x. In bahasa Melayu, beza y bahagi beza x, right? So the difference in y divide difference in x. And since your y-axis is distance and your x-axis is time, so when you find gradient, you're actually finding speed. Okay, because the formula for speed is difference, the distance divide time. That is why whenever you do distance time graph, you use the gradient to find speed. Okay, but of course you don't have to know all this, right? You just have to memorize. In DTG, distance time graph, whenever they mention speed, you will use gradient. So the gradient here is 5, right? So they say speed of runner is 5, state the value of x. So there's only one line here, so I'm sure it's talking about this line. So let's find the gradient. How to find gradient? You need 2 coordinates. 20x, this is my first coordinate. The next coordinate is 0, 8. And the formula for gradient is what? Y minus y over x minus x. So you will take x minus 8 over 20 minus 0. Of course, you can also take 8 minus x, divide 0 minus 20. Can also, you will get the same answer. All right, let's continue. X minus 8, 20 minus 0, this whole thing is 20. And then when you move here, it becomes 5 times 20, which is 100. So x is 108. So which one is the answer? C is the answer, right? So that should be, that's all, right? Okay, number 4, diagram 2 shows 5 straight lines drawn on a Cartesian plane, and then they say which of the following is true. Okay, soalan A, the equation of QR is x equals -4. QR line is x equals 4. So this is wrong. Okay, because this is a non-gradient line. That's why, and it's potong x-axis at 4, so it should be x equals 4, so it's wrong. The equation of PR is x equals 4. This is also wrong. It's supposed to be y equals 4. PR is y equals 4. And then C, the gradient of PS is equals to gradient of QS. PS and QS, no. This is false also. Because if PS gradient and QS gradient, they have the same gradient, it means they are parallel. And it means these two lines, when you extend this line, they will not touch each other. Okay, they will not meet each other. But if you look at this diagram, PS and QS, they have an intersection point. So definitely they don't have the same gradient, because if they share the same gradient, they will not meet each other. They will, when you extend the line, when you panjangkan the line, they will not touch each other if they are parallel. So C is wrong. Then what about D? The gradient of PR is 0, which is true. Yeah, PR gradient is memang 0, right? So the answer is D. Okay, I want to explain more. Right? So of course, strong students, they will know the answer is D, right? But what about the weak students, right? So what about students that don't understand this concept? So I will explain using this way. So let's talk about straight line. So straight line, we have non-gradient line. Okay, we have non-gradient line. And we also have gradient line. Okay, gradient line. Right here, gradient line. Okay, so for non-gradient line, we have 2 types. The first types of non-gradient line, they will look like this. And the other type of gradient line, it will look like this. All right, this is your y-axis, x-axis, y-axis, x-axis. For non-gradient line, your equation will look like this: y equals number or x equals number. All right, but how to memorize, how to remember which one is y equals, which one is x equals? Very simple. If the line potong y-axis, then it's not y equals number. If the line potong x-axis, can you see the potong x-axis? Then it's x equals. All right. And one more thing I want to tell you is this type of line, they will not have any gradient. If it's completely horizontal ataupun completely vertical, they don't have any gradient. That's why I call it non-gradient line. And if you want me to tell you the gradient for this line, it will be 0. Okay, sorry. Terbalik. If you want me to tell you this line, the gradient will be 0 here, right? For this type of line. But for this type of line, the gradient is infinity. Okay, it's math error. Okay, let me just prove to you quickly why is it math error. Okay, what is the formula for gradient? You will take y minus y divide x minus x, right? So imagine that I take 2 points here, right? So these 2 points will have different x coordinate. They will have different x coordinate. Doesn't matter where you take. They all have different x coordinate, but they have the same y coordinate. It means what happens when you take y minus y, you will end up with 0 because they have the same y coordinate. Agree? And then we don't care about what's down here because 0 divide anything is 0. That is why the gradient here is 0. Okay, let's prove this one. Why this one gradient infinity? The same thing, formula for gradient is y minus y divided x minus x. But if you choose any 2 points here, they will have the same x coordinate. Agree? They will have the same x coordinate. Doesn't matter which 2 points you choose on this line. So when you take x minus x, definitely you will get 0 power here. And atas, we don't care what you get. Okay, of course they will have different y coordinate, right? But we don't care what you get because let's say you get, it doesn't matter you get 1 or you get 2, you get 3, it doesn't matter because when you divide by 0, you will get math error, right? You can try with your calculator. You can press 1 divide 0, 2 divide 0, 3 divide any number divide 0, the calculator will give you math error. All right. So that is why if the line is like this, vertical like this, the gradient is infinity. All right. But for your syllabus, you don't have to, how to say? You don't have to hafal whether it's 0 or infinity. You just have to remember this type of lines, they don't have gradient. Okay, they don't have gradient. And also the equation will look like this, y equals number ataupun x equals number. That's all you need to know for your syllabus, right? What about gradient line? Gradient line, it will look like this or it can look like this. All right. If the line look like this, the gradient will be positive. Like this, the gradient will be negative. And the equation will look like this, y equals mx plus c. What is m? What is c? M is gradient lah. But then what is c? C is the y-intercept. So this is, for example, this is the c lah, the y-intercept, right? Not this one. This one is the x-intercept. Okay, so after you listen to my explanation, now we read again this question. The equation of QR is x equals 4. If you can look carefully, QR is x equals 4. Because this line is a non-gradient line or gradient line. It's a non-gradient line, and it belongs to this case because it's vertical, right? But why is it x equals 4? It's because dia potong x-axis dekat 4. Dia potong x-axis dekat 4, that's why it's x equals 4. So this is wrong because they write negative 4. What about B? Equation of PR is x equals 4. PR is like this. So this line is also a non-gradient line. So and the equation will be y equals 4. Kenapa y equals? Because dia potong y-axis. I mentioned already. If dia potong y-axis, dia akan jadi y equals. So y equals 4. Alright. So they write x equals 4. That's why it's salah here. Alright. Hey, what if I ask you the y-axis? Can you tell me the y-axis equation will be what? Will it be x equals or y equals? X equals number or y equals number for y-axis? It will be x equals, right? Because y-axis is vertical like this, right? But x equals how many? X equals 0 because it's potong x-axis, right? And it's potong x-axis at 0. Okay, all lines that are straight vertical like this, it will be x equals, right? But x equals what? Depending on where they cut the x-axis lah. If they cut the x-axis at 5, then x equals 5 lah. If cut at 3, then x equals 3. But the y-axis cut at x equals 0, that's why x equals 0. Then can you tell me what about x-axis? This will be y equals 0 x-axis because it's horizontal. So if horizontal, it will be y equals. But y equals how many? Well, it cuts the y-axis at 0, so y equals 0. That's what it means. So that's why B is wrong. Because B is supposed to be y equals 4, but they write x equals 4. Let's continue. C, gradient of PS is equal to QS. Okay, I already explained just now. PS and QS, these both are gradient line, but they will not have the same gradient because same gradient, they will not have intersection point. It doesn't matter how long you tarik the line, how long you extend the line, they will not meet each other because they are parallel. But PS and QS, clearly they are intersecting at S, so that's why they don't have the same gradient. So the answer should be D, gradient of PR is 0, which is true. Yeah, I told you already, I proved to you here. So hope you understand. Number 5, a trader sells 3 types of product PQR in the ratio 2 ratio Y ratio 6. Let's write it down. P ratio Q ratio R, the ratio given is 2 ratio Y ratio 6. So the Q ratio they never give you, they just put Y there. So I'm sure they will ask you to find this later. Let's keep reading. When the data is represented in a pie chart is like this, a circle. The sector angle of R is 240 degrees. So for R is 240 degrees, state the value of Y. Okay, how to convert this ratio to angle? Very simple, because ratio is like probability. So if the ratio for R is 6, so what is the probability of R? It will be 6 over total, which is 2 plus Y plus 6. All right. So this is the probability of R. Okay. It means I convert the ratio to fraction lah. After I convert to fraction, I will times 360 equals to 240. All right. Why I times 360? Because you want to convert to angle. If you want to convert to percentage, you will times 100, right? If you want to convert the fraction to percentage, you will times 100. But if you want to convert to angle, you times 360, okay? And it's okay even if you don't know the Y, because we know the final answer is 240. So now we can just pindah and then I will get my Y. Okay, the first thing I'll do is I will take 2 plus 6, all right? So number dengan number boleh buat. So 2 plus 6 is 8, so you end up with 8 plus y. And then the 360, I'll move it over, so it becomes dy. So you just press calculator, 24 divide 36. So my calculator give me 2 over 3. So you just write down 2 over 3. So remember what we do if we have single fraction on both sides? When we have something over something equals something over something, what we do? We will darab silang. Remember this. Okay, cross multiply. It means when we have single fraction on both sides, then we can do like that. So 3 times 6, 18. And then 2 times 8 plus y. Okay, 2 times 8, 2 times y. So 2 times 8 is 16. 2 times y also you have to do, becomes 2y. So now how to find y? 2y, 16 move it over, become minus 18 minus 16 is 2. So y equals to 2 divide 2, which is 1. So the answer is D. All right. They want to find value of y, right? So that's all. Okay, number 6, diagram 3 shows a polygon. Which of the following statement, okay, so this is a polygon, which, to be more specific, it's a polygon with 3 sides. Which of the following statement is not true about the exterior angle and interior angles of polygon? This is lower form. This one you learn in lower form, form 1, form 2, form 3. Okay, let me just tell you, let me just bulletkan the answer first, then only I explain to you, all right? So let's just read one by one. The first one, an interior angle is an angle formed by 2 adjacent sides in a polygon. Sudut dalam adalah sudut yang terbentuk oleh dua sisi sebelahan di dalam sesuatu polygon. This is true. Alright. Interior angle is formed by 2 adjacent sides. Means dua sudut yang sebelahan. Yeah. Like for example, A, B, and C lah. A, B, and C. This is the interior angle. Alright. Then what about X, Y, Z? That's the exterior lah. Okay, but it's okay. We keep reading the B one. An extension angle is an angle formed when one side of polygon is extended. Sudut perluaran, sudut luar, ialah sudut yang terbentuk apabila satu sisi polygon dipanjangkan. Yes, this is also true. Because when you panjangkan the polygon sides, you will form another angle, and this angle, which is XYZ, is called the exterior angle, sudut luar. Okay, sometimes they call it extension angle, but it's the same thing. All right. What about C? Sudut AB dan C ialah sudut dalam. Angles AB and C are interior angle. Yeah, I just told you. I just told you this is true. Okay. When I explained A just now, I just told you the ABC is interior. What about D? D says sudut X, Y, and Z ialah sudut pedalaman. Angles X, Y, and Z are interior angle. Okay, this is false. X, Y, and Z we call it exterior. Okay, why exterior? Because it's outside the polygon. Okay, now I want to explain something. All right, I want to explain now. Okay, if we have a polygon, let's draw a polygon. Okay, hey, by the way, what's polygon? Polygon means where it's a shape where it has many sides, because poly meaning is many. Okay, and then gon here means shape, or you can say sides, right? So when you have many sides, okay, then we will form a shape like that. So if we have 5 sides, we call it pentagon. If we have 6 sides, we call it hexagon. 7 sides, heptagon. 8 sides, octagon. 9 sides, nonagon. 10 sides, decagon, and so on. But let's just focus on this pentagon, and let's call this and what do we call it when all the sides have the same length? They all have same sides. What do we call? What's the word? Regular. This word is very important. You have to put this inside your vocabulary. Okay, if you want to score maths, you have to learn this word regular. So what is regular means? When you see this word regular in Bahasa Melayu, sekata. Okay, sekata, polygon yang sekata. It means they have 5 same all the sides same length. And if all the sides same length, can you tell me the interior angle will be what? It will be same also. They will have the same interior angle also. So the angle here will exactly be the same for all 5 angles, right? But how to find the interior angle? There's a formula we can use. Sum of interior angle formula. Okay, what is interior? The inside angle. The formula is like this. N minus 2 times 180. So memorize this formula. N is how many sides? So how many sides you have here? 5. So 5 minus 2 times 180. And you will get 540. All right. But 540 is not the angle here. 540 is the sum. Is the sum of all these 5 angles add together. So when you add all together, you will get 540. So can you tell me each one is how much? 540 divide by 5, right? So you get 108 each. 108. Okay. Because they mentioned the word regular. So if they got mentioned the word regular, it means all the angle is same. That's why you can divide by 5 equally. Right? Okay, let's talk about exterior angle now. Okay. So I'm gonna erase all this. Okay, let's talk about exterior angle. For exterior angle, what you do is I will extend this line, I'll extend this line, I'll extend this line, I'll extend this line, I'll extend this line. Right? Can you see when I extend this line, there's a new angle. I will use red color. So this one is the new angle form, right? So can you tell me what will be the interior angle plus with the exterior angle? What do you think they will add up? They will add up to what? The interior angle and the exterior angle, after you tambah, you will get 180, right? Because it's a straight line. So the interior angle and exterior angle, when you tambah, you get 180. Same with this. Tambah 180, tambah 180, tambah 180, tambah 180, because it's a straight line, okay? But there's some things there's some, how to say, extra knowledge for exterior angle. So exterior angle, when you add all the exterior angle, right? When you take the sum of exterior angle, it will always be 360. Okay, it will always be 360. Doesn't matter how many sides. Okay, doesn't matter. The exterior angle will always be 360. Okay, doesn't matter how many sides. Even if it's a triangle, it will, the sum of exterior angle will always be 360. So how do I explain this? Okay, imagine this thing, you spin it really fast, like you rotate it really fast. This thing, it will form a what? It will almost look like a circle, right? So it means when you take all the red color angle, the exterior angle add together, it will form 360. All right. And one more thing is, you can actually take 360 divide n to get each exterior angle. Okay, because total exterior angle is 360, right? And then if it's a regular polygon, and let's say I have 5 sides, okay, I just take 360 divide 5, right? 360 divide 5, and then I will get my each exterior angle, right? So the calculator give me 72. So all the red color is 72, 72, 72. But of course, only if it's regular, they will all have the same angle. And what is 72 inside is 108. Okay, and if you add them together, it's 180. Okay, so yeah, macam tu lah. Even though what I explain now has not, how to say, is not very helpful answer this question, because this question, they didn't ask this type of, how to say, this kind of, they never test you on this also, they just ask very simple, right? So but it's still important to know. These are all still useful, very helpful, and they will ask you in exam. So I think it's important to know, so I explain it to you. So remember all these formulas. Let's continue. Number 7, diagram 4 shows the combination of a right prism, okay, with a rectangular base. So this is the right prism and a right pyramid, okay, on the side with a triangular base on the horizontal plane. AD and BC are vertical sides. AD and BC are vertical sides, so this should be 8 as well, right? Which of the following shows the elevation of X? Okay, this is under Form 2, Form 3 chapter also. It's called plan and elevation. So if you tengok dari X, apa you nampak? I think you can straight away look at your ABCD answer to jawab. So the answer is B. Very, very obvious, right? Very obvious is B. Why is it B? So when you look from here, of course, the first thing you will see is this plane, right? This plane, right? But you have to consider the belakang line also. So will you see the FB line? Actually, you won't see the FB line because the FB line is covered by the AB line. The FE line is blocked by the AB line. That's why you only see a rectangle like this. The FB line, you can't see it because it's already blocked by this line. And then what about this BG line? Yeah, you will see it also. And then the CG line also, you will see it. Okay, just the E, you won't see it because the E is covered by the B, right? So the E is actually here. So this is how it looks like. So the answer is B, right? That's all. Number 8, diagram 5 shows a circle with center O. Okay, they give some information. The radius is 15. This is the radius, 15. And then if the circle is drawn using a scale 1:1/2, find the circumference of the new circle. Use pi equals to 22/7. Okay, this is under Form 3 chapter. It's called scale drawing. Okay, so this chapter, I only have one advice for you. Okay, the advice I want to give you is make sure it's length. Make sure it's length. You can only draw scale when it's length. You cannot do it if it's area. You faham also saya. So for example, they give you 1:1/2, right? All right. What does it mean? It means the ratio, this is the image, and this is the object. Okay. And the formula for scale factor you learn in Form 5 also, it's I/O, right? That's why it's I/O like that. So what is the scale factor for this question? It will be 1 divide 1/2, which is 1 times 2, which is 2. It means the scale factor here is 2. That's what it means. Okay. And then they say if the circle is drawn using a scale of this, find the circumference of the new circle. What you do now is you will, okay, I will divide into 2 methods. We have the form 3 method. Form 3 is called scale drawing. Okay, and then I will also explain using the form 5 method, which is scale factor. This one you learn in the transformation chapter. Okay, let's explain using the scale factor method. Okay, since the scale is 1:1/2, it means it will be 1/1/2. That's why I show it here. You get 2, right? So how to find the circumference of the new circle? First, we will find the circumference of the old circle. Okay, circumference is, what's the unit for circumference? cm, right? So circumference is considered length. It's considered length. That is why you can straight away use this formula. Because if it's area, then you can't use this formula, because area is different. That's my only advice for you. Because I remember in others trial paper they ask for area. If they ask for area, you cannot take image bahagi object. That one is different. That one you have to square root. After you take image bahagi object, you have to square root. Okay, but it's okay. Let's come back here. The scale factor is 2, right? Okay, first of all, let's find the area of the original first. Not area, sorry, the circumference. Okay, so how to find the circumference? Circumference formula is 2 pi r, or you can say 2 pi j. So the r here is 15. So you will end up with 50 times 2 times 22/7. Pi, they already said use 22/7. So 2 times 22/7 times 15, I will end up with 94.29. Okay, but this is the old circle. But to get a new circle, I will take 94.29, okay, times 2. Right? Why times 2? Because the scale factor now is 2. So what you end up with 188.57. The answer is B. But I really want to explain using the form 3 punya cara. Form 3 cara is like this. Okay. Since the scale drawing, okay, the form 3, I have to write some notes for you. So I'll write 1:n here, and then I'll write n bigger than 1, right? And then I'll write 1:n, 1:1/n. 1/n, and then your n is bigger than 1. And then here I will write drawing is smaller than object. And then for this, I will write drawing is bigger than object, right? And then I will also put a I here, right? I here. I stands for image, right? So let me explain what this means. It means if I have 1:n and your n is bigger than 1, it means 1:2, 1:3, 1:4, 1:1000. It means what? It means the drawing is smaller than the actual object. The object means the actual size. Right? So the drawing will be smaller. Okay. So this one is the how to say? Paling banyak kita akan guna skill macam ni. Because most of the time when you look at the drawing, when you look at the map, when you look at how to say? A drawing lah. Okay. Usually when you draw, you will not draw the actual size. Okay. You will draw smaller. Your drawing will be smaller. So the scale we use is like this: 1:2, 1:3, or 1 ratio like that. Okay. But what if my ratio is 1:1/n? Then it will look like this: 1:1/2, 1:1/3 like that. But your n is still bigger than 1 lah, 2, 3, 4 like that. It means your drawing will be bigger than the object. If your scale is like this, it means your drawing is actually bigger. Okay, the one you draw is bigger than the object, right? So if you look at this, 1:1/2, you tell me your drawing is supposed to be bigger than this or smaller than this? It's supposed to be bigger because of this, right? Because it's 1:1/2 and your n is 2, which is like this. So your drawing must be bigger than the object. So the circumference of the new circle will be bigger. All right. So what I do, I find 2 pi 15, I'll get 94.29, and then I do the calculation, because 1:1/2. Okay, sorry, 1:1/2. The one yang atas is the image. Okay, the drawing. Okay, the one yang bawah is the object. So what is the drawing in this case? You don't know, right? You don't know. You want to find x. That's why you don't know. And then for down one, it will be 94.29. So you can also calculate it like this, because the scale drawing, the in front number is for the image, the drawing, the new drawing, and then the 1/2, that will be the original one, the original circle. Okay, so since the formula is drawing bahagi actual, so the drawing one I don't know, so I will just call it x. Okay, because I want to find a new one, right? And then the actual one, the circumference 94.29, and then I'll just take 1 divide 1/2, which is 2, and then you end up with x over 94.29, and then you take 94.29 times 2, and then you just use calculator, and it will still give you the same answer, 188.57, right? So that's how you do it, right? But I want to explain one more time. You cannot do it like this if it's area. Okay, if this is area, then you cannot do it like this. Okay, let me explain if area, what formula you will use. If area, you will do it like this. You will use this formula. Area of image equals to k square times area of object, right? Because I remember my last video or my last two video, I don't remember which state, they got give you area of image. Okay, I think I still remember the value. I think it's 72 and 18. All right, and most students, they will just take 72 divide 18, and then they get 4, and then they go and bullet 4, and then wrong lah. If they say area of image 72, area of object 18, and they want to find scale factor, you cannot take image divide object. No, cannot, because it's area. Okay, you can only take length. This one is all length. Why this one can do it like this is because circumference is still length. Area is in cm square. That's why you cannot just divide. So the proper way is to take 72 equals to k square times 18. It means you will take 72 divide 18, but after you divide, you get 4, but you still have to square root it. That's why you end up with 2 and -2 as your final answer. Okay, okay, but this one is if they give you area lah. But this one, we can straight away do it because circumference is considered length. All right. So hopefully all this explanation got help you understand scale drawing. Okay, actually you can also do it using the form 3 punya cara. Okay, you will get the same answer. Okay, number 9, diagram 6 shows two circles. Okay, QRS is the common tangent to both circles. So this QRS is a tangent. So this tangent means what? It will touch the left circle on one point and touch the right circle at one point. And this point is point R. And what do we call this point? We call this point R the tangent point. And tangent point means when you have a center, tarik to tangent, it will be 90 degree. Okay, but they never put any center on this circle, and they also never put any center here. So I don't think I can label the 90 degree. And then what else they say? Given the length KR equals to LR, KR equals to LR. Okay, let's put it like this. And then KLR is 65. KLR 65. Okay, they put already. PMR 42. PMR 42. Okay, nice. And then find the value of X. Okay, how to do it? First of all, here is 65. Okay, here's 65. Okay, some of you will ask like, hey, why suddenly you write here 65? Okay, because of the tangent. If you have a circle and we have a tangent, all right, and then tangent means they touch the circle at one point. This point we call it tangent point. And from the tangent point, let's say I tarik 2 lines to the side of the circle like this, and then I form a triangle. This angle and this angle will be same. This angle and this angle will be same, like this, right? But you can only apply this when the two triangle vertices is on the side of the circle. If you tarik macam ni, cannot. Like this cannot, because this triangle is this how to say, this line is not on the side. That's why you cannot use. But then this one can, because if you look at this, the tangent point tarik to K, tarik to L, and these two, they both on the side of the circle. That's why here is 65, here also 65. Okay, and then what about here? Here also 65, because this is an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle, they will have 2 equal sides. It means here and here same, here and here should be same also. So this is 65. All right, and now after you label here 65, you can find the middle one, which is 180 minus 65 2 times. So let's press. Okay, the calculator give me 50. And guess what? If this is 50, this will be 50 also. Why is it same? Because this is a straight line, this is a straight line. So when you have 2 straight lines, this angle and this angle same, this angle and this angle same. Okay, X, X, Y, Y. That's why here 50, here also 50. Okay, let me ask you, can I write here X? Can or cannot? Can I use the tangent, can I apply the tangent I say just now? Because I got triangle here, right? And then this is tangent point, and then since X is here, here is X. Betul ke kalau saya buat macam tu? Correct or wrong? Okay, so this is wrong. Why is this wrong? Because I mentioned already, if you want to use this, you want to apply this, the 2 triangle vertices have to be on the side. So this one, dia tarik sampai sini saja, dia tarik sampai sini saja. So you cannot use the one I teach you just now. So how to find X then? Okay, very easy, because they got give you one information, 42 here. If you look carefully, this 42 is tarik from M to PR. Can you see? Tarik from M to PR. And it's a side angle. Why I call it side angle? Because it's on the side, right? But look at this. Look at the point N. Point N is also tarik to PR. Did you notice? So sekali lagi, M tarik from the side to PR. N is also on the side, and then also tarik to PR. So this angle and this angle should be the same. Okay? But I want to mention, if you tarik from center, then what happens? So let's say we have a like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. So if let's say this one is Y, this one will be 2Y. Okay, because if I tarik from the side and I tarik from the center angle will have to times 2. Okay, but of course you have to make sure tarik to the same place lah. Okay, but this one, this question, the 42 is tarik from side to M, from M to PR. This one is N to PR. That's why they have the same angle. And also this will be 50. Same reason, because this R I tarik from the side to MN. And if you look at the P also, you tarik from the side. Okay. But of course, if I tarik from center to MN, then the angle have to times 2. Okay. But this one, they don't have times 2. It's same. Okay. Now you can find X. Just take 180 minus 50 minus 42. So you just press in your calculator. Okay. My calculator give me 88. So why is there no 88 here? Maybe down here. Okay. Yes. So the answer is D. Right? Very simple. Continue. Number 10. Diagram 7 shows transformation of a regular polygon. So the word regular, do you remember just now got one question I explained to you what's regular, right? So let's go back. Where's the explanation? Question number 6. Okay, I even explained like a lot of, how to say? I explained a lot. Okay, what's the regular interior angle and exterior angle? So if you want the explanation, you rewind back to that question lah. Okay, number 10. Diagram shows the transformation of regular polygon, shape 1, shape 2, shape 3. Which transformation represents X and Y to describe the change of shape 1 to shape 2 and then shape 3? I think we will straight away look at the answer, okay, to do it. So straight away look at the option. So shape 1 to shape 2, definitely not rotate 90 clockwise. Okay, reflection possible. Rotate 180 not possible, because rotate 180 it will be terbalik like this. Okay, like a Superman sign. But no, this is not rotate. Okay, but reflection, yes. Okay, because when you tarik line like that, all these lines will be parallel. So yeah, it's reflection. Okay, another possible answer is translation, also possible. But since there's no translation here, so this must be reflection. Okay, what about, so we know A and C confirm wrong already. Let's look at B and D. B, they say Y is rotate 90 degree. D is translation. So if you look at Y, can this be translation? I don't think so, because this thing is like this sudah terbalik sikit, right? So I think translation wrong. So the only left answer is B. So yeah, the answer is B, because this is rotate 90 degree. Because when you join the lines, you will get some, how to say, you will not have a parallel set of lines, and you will not have lines that intersect at one point. You will just get a very messy line. So that's why it's rotate 90 degree. Yep, that's how you do it. Okay. Number 11, given that the area of shape M and N at 8 and 32, shape N is the image of shape M under an enlargement. Oh my god, I predicted this question like just now. Do you remember in question 8 just now? I keep on giving you the advice. What advice I give you? This question also under scale drawing, right? And I said you can use the form 3 method and the form 5 method. And I just mentioned just now, if they give you length, then only you can use the formula length of image bahagi length of object. And I even mentioned in question 8, I said, if it's area, don't take the area divide, please. I even write down the working. Oh my god, I even write down, like it's still here. Okay, so I really recommend you to pause the video and go back to question 8, rewind to question 8, and listen to the full explanation. Okay, so if area, you cannot use the scale factor image over object. This formula we can only use when it's length. If it's area, you have to use a different formula, right? Okay, let's go back to question number 11. So given that the area of shape M is 8, so 8 is the area, and then 32 is also another area. Shape N is the image of shape M. So what is the area of image? Area of image. So N is the image, right? So if N is the image, so area N 32 is the area of image. And then shape M will be the object. So area of object, which is M, is 8. Now they say determine the scale factor of the enlargements. Formula for scale factor is I divide by O. But if you take 32 divide 8, then you salah already. You confirm salah already. If you do like that, salah. Salah already. Okay, why salah? Because this formula we can only use when you take length of image divide length of object. So you cannot use this formula actually. Then which formula you have to use? Area of image equals k square times area of object. This is the formula that you should be using. right? Okay, before I start, I want to ask you, your image now getting bigger or getting smaller? Getting bigger, right? So if your image getting bigger, it means your scale factor has to be bigger than 1. So A and B confirm wrong already. It's either C or D, right? So now we use the formula K square. Area of object is 8, so times 8, and then area of image is 32 like this. So what you do is you pinna the 8 to the other side. 32 divided 8 is 4. And then how to find K? Square root the 4. But when you square root 4, you will get 2, right? Actually, there's another answer. Because square root 4 is also negative 2. Okay, because imagine this, 2 square, what you get? You get 4, right? What happens if you take negative 2 square? You will also get 4. If you press calculator, you don't believe me, you press calculator, negative 2 square, you will also get 4. It means, what happens when you square root 4? It will be 2 and negative 2. That's why I got 2 answer. Okay, so the scale factor can be 2, the scale factor can be negative 2 also. It means the answer is C lah. Okay. Why the scale factor can be negative 2 also? Okay, let me explain. I ask you again, image getting bigger or getting smaller? Getting bigger, right? So if the image getting bigger, it means your scale factor can be 2 or negative 2. If the scale factor is 2 means the image is getting bigger and the object and image is on the same side. But if your scale factor is negative 2, your image is still getting bigger, but your object and image will be on the opposite side if the scale factor is negative. Some student, they how to say, they will think that scale factor negative means your image getting smaller. No, wrong. If your scale factor gets smaller, your image getting smaller, your scale factor will be less than 1. It will not be negative. Okay, negative has nothing to do with the size. Negative is just whether they are on the same object and image on the same side or opposite side. That's all, right? So that's the working, right? I want to look back to my question 8. So very similar, right? I even explain extra here, right? So very similar, very similar. So if you struggle with this type of question, you can look back to question 8. Okay, question 8 I explain in very detail. So yeah. All right, let's keep going. Number 12. Your scale drawing again. Wow, this paper got how many scale drawing question? Okay, so many, a lot. Okay, this is the third scale drawing question already. Okay, let's read. The measurements of a rectangular room on a scale drawing are 8 cm, 5 cm. Okay, to make it easy to imagine, I'll just draw it out. Rectangular room, scale drawing. What is it? The measurements on a scale drawing. So this is a drawing. Drawing. So if drawing means image or object, image, right? So this is 8 cm. This is 5 cm. And then they say if the scale factor used is 1:300,000, calculate the actual area. Actual here means object. All right. Remember, whenever you see drawing, like not the real one lah, not the real one is called drawing, but the actual one is the object. So they want to calculate object in kilometer square, and then the scale used is this 1:300,000. Okay, I can go back to my question 8 again. Okay, in my question 8, I explained just now. Okay, you can use using the form 3 method or the form 5 method. But if form 3 method, you have to hafal this, right? If 1:n, your n bigger than 1, it means your drawing size is smaller than the object. But if it's 1:1/n and your n is like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, bigger than 1, it means your drawing will be bigger than object. So if it's 1:300,000, can you tell me which one? It means your n is bigger than 1, right? It means it's this one. It means your drawing will be smaller than the object. Your drawing is smaller, right? So let's go back here. 1:300,000. Okay. Same thing. I will show you using two methods. One is the form 3 scale drawing method. And then the other one is the form 5 method. Okay. If you use scale drawing method, how you do it? 1:300,000 means 1/300,000, right? And the formula is always drawing over object. Okay, drawing over object, or you can also say image lah. Drawing is the image. Okay, so can I take 8 times 5 and then I get 40 cm square? And since this is the drawing, I put it at the drawing here, 40 cm square. And then bawah what x? And then I cari x. Can I do it like this? The answer is no. The answer is no, you cannot do it like this. Because this is in cm square. What you should do now is actually put in 8. Okay, I mentioned in my last question also, if it's area, you cannot do it like this. This formula, you can do it only if it's length, right? Because the formula for scale factor is length of image divided length of object. You cannot put in area inside the scale factor formula. Okay, for area, you can use the other formula. Okay, but before I, how to say? Before I do this, first I have to write, this is the drawing, this is the object, right? And since I don't know the object, I'll just write x here, right? So what you do is you will cross multiply, you will get x equals to 8 times 3, which is 24, and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, what is the unit here? The unit here will be cm, because 8 is in cm, right? And then you have to do one more time for the 5 cm, so it will be 1 over 300,000 equals to, what's the formula for scale drawing? Drawing over object. So the drawing here is 5 cm, and then the object is x. Because we can't put in the 40, okay? The 40 is the area, right? That's why we have to put in the length. We can only put in the length. So that's why we have to find separately the length. So the x will be what? Cross multiply, it will be 3, 0, and then 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, after you do it like this, after you have your length and width for your object, now only you find the area of the room. So how do you find the area of the room? You will take this value times with this value, right? Okay, but don't do that. They want in kilometer square. So what you should do is convert both to kilometer first, right? Okay, 1 kilometer is actually 1,000 meter. And 1 meter is actually 100 centimeter. So if I want to convert centimeter to 100 to meter, I have to divide 100. So what you do is you take this whole thing, divide 100, and after you divide 100, you have to divide with 1,000 again, because after you divide 100 is in meter already, but meter to kilometer you have to divide another 1,000. So what happens if you press your calculator, divide 100, this one, divide 100, divide 1,000. So you are left with, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You are left with 30 kilometer. Same here, you will divide 100, and then divide 1,000. Okay, so divide 100, divide 1,000. You will get 24 kilometer. And then you take 24 times 30. And then your answer will be in kilometers squared. So the answer is 720. Okay, why no answer? Did I do anything wrong here? Let me double confirm. Let's see. 1 ratio 8 cm, 5 cm. So 8 ma. So 8 is the drawing. So 8 letak atas. So 8 times 300,000. So 24 and then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, correct. And then 5 also, 5 times 3. Oh, I know where I did wrong. What is 5 times 3? It's not this, right? This one, I made a mistake here. Okay, but the 24 correct already. It's just that sini saya buat salah. So let me betulkan. Okay, so this one is x times 1 is x. When you cross multiply, 5 times 3 is 15. And then 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and then don't forget to divide 100, divide 1,000. So you end up with 1, 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you get 15 kilometer. And then only you times 24 times 15, you get in kilometer square. So the answer is 360 kilometer square. Alright, that's the answer. Okay, I want to ask you, boleh tak kalau saya ambil 240,000,000 in cm times with 15,000,000 in cm, and then baru saya convert to kilometer square? Boleh, boleh. But I want you to know 1 kilometer square is not equals to 1,000 cm square. Is not equal. This one is very, very important. If 1 kilometer is 1,000 cm, but 1 kilometer square is not 1,000 cm square. All right. So this one, that's why I convert to km first. It's safer if you convert to the km first in length. Okay, when means when it's still length, you convert first to kilometer, then only you times becomes the area. Don't find the area baru convert. Okay, it's better if you convert the unit for the length first, then only you times, right? So this one very important. Even though 1 kilometer is 1,000 meter, but 1 kilometer square is not equals to 1,000 meter square. Sorry, this one is supposed to be meter. Okay, 1 kilometer, 1,000 meter, but 1 kilometer square is not 1,000 meter square. All right, so that one kena tahu. Okay, number 13. Puan Widya has made a personal loan. Loan means you pinjam from bank. Means you go to the bank and you tell the bank, hey, hello, I want to pinjam this amount, 28,000. So when you pinjam this amount, the bank will charge you interest. So let's see, she will repay within 7 years with monthly installment 415. Calculate the interest rate charged by the bank. Which formula you will use? The simple interest formula, P plus PRT. Okay, this formula is what? This formula is to calculate how many you have to pay back the bank, right? So if you pinjam 28,000, will you bayar balik 28,000? If you pinjam 28,000, will you bayar balik 28,000? No, you will pay back 28,000 plus with the interest. And the interest, how you calculate? You use the PRT formula. PRT formula is used to calculate interest, right? So what is the P? P is the original value, 28,000, times with the interest rate, but the interest rate, let's just call it X. I want to find interest rate, and then times with time. The time is what? 7 years. All right. So if you calculate this, you will get the amount that you have to bayar balik kepada bank. All right. So let's see what you get here. So you get 28000 plus with, okay, the 7 and times 28,000, we can do it. So just press calculator. I will get 196,000. Okay, 196,000x. So what is this? What is this? This is the amount that you have to pay back. It means you pinjam 28,000, but when you bayar balik, this is the loan repayment. Okay, when you pay when you pinjam 28,000, you have to bayar balik this amount, right? But then they say she will repay within 7 years with a monthly installment 415. So if this is the amount you have to pay back, total you have to pay back. How to find the monthly installment? She pay back within 7 years. So how to find the monthly installment? This is the total you have to pay back within 7 years. So how to find monthly installment? You divide by 84, right? Okay, for those wondering why divide 84, because when you pay back to 7 years, 1 year is 12 months, right? So it means if I want to know 7 years, I will take 7 times 12, which is 84, right? And then the monthly installment is 415. So actually we can just continue from here and then we will get the answer later. Okay, 7 times 12, you can press, you get 84. So you end up with 28000 plus 196,000x equals to 415 times 84. You press calculator. Okay, my calculator give me 34860. All right, so just write it here. And then now you can move the 28,000 to the other side. So you're left with 196,000. Wait, 196,000x, and then we press 34860 minus 28,000. Okay, 6860. And then finally just divide. To get x, just take 6860, divide 196,002. Okay, my calculator give me 0.035. 0.035. Okay, let me tell you something. Interest, the interest rate is always in percentage. Okay, it's always in percentage. So if it's in percentage, how to convert this to percentage? You will times 100. So it'll be 3.5%. All right. Why is it 3.5%? Because 3.5% is 3.5 divided 100. And if you press 3.5 divided 100, you'll get 0.035. Right. So that's why the answer is C. Okay. Actually, they should write percent here. Okay. But they never write, right? So yeah. So the correct answer is C. Okay. So make sure you know how to convert the decimal to percentage. Thus times 100. Okay, if you want to convert decimal to percentage, you times 100. If you want to convert percentage back to decimal, you divide 100 like that. Okay, continue. 14. Simplify this. Okay, how to do? Simplify means you have to permudahkan. It means if can factorize, you have to factorize. If can potong, you have to potong. Just make it simple. Okay, if I focus on this one can actually simplify. How to simplify? 12 and 6, you can factorize out 6. G and GH, you can factorize out G. So what happens when you take out 6G? When you factorize out 6G, you will take 12G divide 6G, which is 2. Okay, divide. And then negative 6, when I divide 6, I end up with negative 1. GH divide G is just left with H. Okay, let's go again. G square minus 25. This one also can factorize. 25 can jadi 5 square. All right. Why I make it into G square minus 5 square? So that later I can open 2 bracket. The first bracket, I'll write G minus 5. The other bracket, I'll write G plus 5. Okay. Okay. And then divide, I can actually change to times. The G plus, but this one have to terbalik lah. Okay. So the G plus 5 duduk atas. And then 18 G square H, nothing to factorize. Nothing, cannot simplify already this one. The G plus 5 also, I just leave it because nothing to simplify. Okay. Now, I will write 6G bracket 2 minus H over G square minus 5 square. You can make it into G minus 5. Make it 2 bracket. G, 1G minus 5, G plus 5, all right? And then time, that's why I change the 25 to 5 square. And then here will be G plus 5 over 18G square H. Okay, how do you take fraction, darab fraction? You will take atas, darab atas, bawah, darab bawah. So when you take atas, darab atas, bawah, darab bawah, atas and bawah can potong. That is why it means G plus 5 and G plus 5 here can potong. So what you left? You left with 6G 2 minus H over this one, right? But this one and this one also can potong. So what you potong with, how you potong? You will potong the 6 with the 18 like this, and then you left with 3. Okay, and then you potong G and the G square, you just left with G power 1 dekat bawah. right? But you don't potong the H with inside here. You cannot potong this one because this one you can only potong with the one in front, okay? Because you can only potong when it's a times relation. You see 6G and the 2 minus H is times relation. That's why you can potong. But the H inside the bracket, you cannot potong. Okay. So what you left with just atas, you just left with 2 minus H. Bawah, you just left with G minus 5. And then there's still 3GH. And then the 3GH, you can write belakang or you want to write depan also can. Okay. It's a times relation. Okay. Now the 3GH, you can expand, right? You can darab masuk. Okay. You can times. But if you look at ABCD, you already see the answer. It's B, right? So you don't have to darab masuk already. Okay. A is wrong because they write G plus 5. Okay, that's why A is wrong. C and D tak payah tengok lah, ni lagi salah. This one, okay, that's why the correct answer is B lah. Right? Okay, number 15. Table 1 shows the Rotax rate for private car in Peninsula, Malaysia. So Semenanjung, this is the Rotax rate, okay? And then Johan has a private 4-wheel drive vehicle in Maran with engine capacity 2,400. So this one, 2,400. Calculate the Rotax. Okay, very easy. How to find Rotax? First, we will take the base rate, which is 380, plus with big bracket. Okay, it says here, the progressive rate is 1 ringgit for every cc exceeding 2,000. So 2,400, dia melebihi 2,000 berapa? So you have to take 2,400 minus 200, minus 2,000, sorry. Okay, 2,400 minus 2,000. After you minus, you get the balance, you times with 1. Okay, because for every cc exceeding 2,000, you have to pay 1 ringgit. So for example, if your cc is 2001 cc, it means how much you have to pay? You have to pay extra 1 ringgit lah. Okay, it means you will pay 380 plus 1 ringgit because you you melebihi the 2000 cc by 1. So every cc you melebihi, you can pay 1 ringgit. What if you 2003 cc? Then you will pay 380 ringgit plus 3 ringgit. But now your cc is 400, 2400. That's why you take 2400 minus 2000, you will end up with 400 here. And then the 400 have to times 1 because for every cc you bayar 1 ringgit. So 400 times 1 is 400 plus with 380, you get 780. So the answer is D. Okay. Please don't confuse the Rotax with motor insurance. Motor insurance and Rotax is not the same thing. Motor insurance is the one yang ada basic premium, apa comprehensive policy, third party, pihak ketiga, third party. That one is motor insurance. This one is Rotax. They are different. Okay. Rotax is much more easier to calculate. Motor insurance yang tu banyak kena hafal. The one have to tengok the 20. Kalau Semenanjung 26 darab. Kalau comprehensive policy 26 darab. Kalau Sabah Sarawak 20.3 darab. That one is motor insurance. Okay. So but for Rotax is we just do it like this. Okay. Okay, number 16, given R equals to 1 over 2, okay, square root, okay, it's very blur, 3S over 4T. Okay, let's go. Express T in terms of R and S means I want T to be single. So how can I make T single? I just pindah everything slowly. First thing I will pindah is the 1 over 2, okay? So actually, it's the only thing you can pindah first. You cannot pindah square root first, right? You always pindah the paling outside one. So 1 over 2, when you move there, becomes what? Divide 2, when you move there, becomes times 2. So R times 2 is 2R. Now you pindah the square root. So what happens when you move the square root over? It becomes square. So the 2R will square. Okay, but the square, 2R square, you will not get 2R square. You will get 4R square because the 2 also have to square. So you end up with 4R square equals to 3S over 4T. And then continue here. I want to find T, right? So how to find T? Let's pindah the whole 4T atas here. So you end up with, so that you can hilangkan the fraction. All right. So everything is in one baris. So 4 times 4 is 16. R square times T is just R square T equals to 3S. The reason why I darab macam tu is because I want the fraction to disappear. Okay, so see now no fraction already. So now I can find my T easily. Just take my 3S, divide with my 16 R square. So this is the answer. B. Right? Very simple. Wait, let me just double check. Wait, let's see for okay. Yeah, correct. Okay, let's continue with number 17. Okay, find the value of x for the sequence of numbers. So negative 12, x, 6, 15, 24. Okay, I can figure out 6 how to become 15, 15 how to become 24. 6 to 15 plus 9. 15 to 24 also plus 9, right? You can just take 24 minus 15 and 15 minus 6, you'll get 9. So definitely negative 12, kalau nak jadi x have to plus 9 also, right? So what is negative 12 plus 9? Negative 3, right? So this is negative 3. And if you take negative 3 plus 9, you will really get 6. Yeah, so that's the answer. Number 18, given the express y in terms of x, it means I want to find y. Okay, so 4x equals to 8 over 2y plus 1. Okay, how to find y? First thing first is to make the fraction hilangkan the fraction, because if got fraction is very hard to do. So how to hilangkan fraction? Just move this whole thing, move up, become times, so it becomes 4x bracket 2y plus 1 equals 8. And how you expand? You darab. So 4x times 2 is 8xy, 4x times 1 is 4x equals to 8. And since I'm finding y, it means I want y to be single. So what I'll do is everything except y, I have to move it to the other side. But which one I have to move first? Of course, the 4x, right? So it becomes 8 minus 4x. All right, you always pindah the paling outside one. So how to find y? It will be, let's move 8 first. Okay, so what happens when you move the 8? It becomes divide. So 8 divide 8, 1. Negative 4 divide 8, negative 1 over 2x, right? And then now you will get y equals, okay, now we move the x, so 1 divide x is 1 over x, and then when you take 1 over 2x divide x, just 1 over 2. Okay, because when you move the x over, this 1 have to divide x, this 1 over 2x also divide x, and this x when you write in the middle like this means dia atas punya. That's why when you divide by x, the x cut already, so you left with this. But if you look at a b c d, no answer, right? Okay, because a b c d they all write in single fraction. So if everything in single fraction means you also have to convert to single fraction. How to convert to single fraction? You have to make the denominator same. How to make sure the denominator is same? You can times this with 2, this one times 2, this one times x, this one times x. So now your denominator becomes 2x. And then what about atas? 1 times 2 is 2, 1 times x is x. So the answer is A, right? It means if bawah you want to times 2, atas also have to make sure times 2. If bawah times x, atas pun times x, right? So that's how you do it. 19. List all the integers p that satisfy both the simultaneous linear inequalities, this one and this one. Okay, this is obviously linear inequality. So first thing first, how to find p? So smaller sama dengan 14. Okay, this 704 you can put the pindah there, but when you pindah, what will happen? Okay, the 4 duduk bawah means bahagi, means divide. So divide jadi times 4, and then 7 duduk atas means times jadi divide. So now you can press all this. 14 times 4 divide 7. So you get 8. Okay, but remember, when you divide negative number, you have to terbalikkan the symbol when you divide negative number. So for example, if it's smaller, but when you divide negative, the smaller have to change to bigger. Okay, but this one no need lah, because this one I just divide. I never divide negative number, right? That's why the symbol is still smaller. So this is my first solution. The other solution, 2p, okay, plus 3 bigger than 13. So how to find p? Well, this bigger, I'll leave it, and then the 3, I'll move it there, it becomes 13 minus 3, which is 10. So p, therefore, is bigger than 10 divide 2. So p is bigger than 5. And I want to mention one more time, when you divide a negative number, the symbol have to terbalik. So for example, if I'm dividing by negative 2, then the bigger have to change to smaller, kalau divide negative number. But this one, I divide positive value, so don't need to terbalik. So this is my other solution. So p have to be smaller sama dengan 8, and p has to be bigger than 5. So which one? Wrong. D. Okay, so the answer is D. Because if your number have to be bigger than 5 means 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on, right? But at the same time, your p have to be smaller sama dengan 8 means 8 is included, 7, 6, 5, and so on. Okay. Yeah, that's right. Nicely. It will be 8, 7, 6, 5, and then so on. So if the number have to be bigger than 5, but smaller sama dengan 8 at the same time, then means 6, 7, 8 lah. 8, 7, 6, 6, 7, 8, like that, right? 5 cannot take. Why 5 cannot take? Because they say bigger than 5. They never put the garisan bawah. So it means 5 is not included. So the first number is 6 lah. 6, 7, and then 8 can include because they got put a line here, right? So that's all. Number 20, diagram A shows the relationship between set Q and set R. So this is a one-to-one relation. Okay, we call this a one-to-one relation. Okay, state the domain and range of relation for the sets. So we need to know something. This arrow is pointing to that side. Can you see the arrow? So if the pointing is pointing towards there, it means this is the starting. And the starting, we call it object. And then the other side, we call it the image. Okay, and what is domain? What is range? Range means object. Okay, range means object, and sorry, domain means object. Range is image, but you can only take the image yang ada object, image yang ada object, ataupun image yang ada lines sahaja. Alright, so let me tell you one more time. Domain means what? Domain means you list down all the object. Okay, codomain means you will list down all the image. And then range also you list down the image, but you only list down the image yang ada object. Apa maksud? It means image yang ada line, ada sentuh saja. So image yang line ada sentuh apa? 8, 12, 16, 20. The 10 is not included inside the range. So 8, 12, 16, 20 is the range. So the answer is, okay, what about the object? Object is 4, 6, 8, 10. So the answer is A, right? Let's check B. B, is it correct? No. Why no? Because the range is salah. Okay. C also salah because range is salah. D also salah. Yeah. Because the range is supposed to be 8, 12, 16, 20. Right? The 10 cannot include in your range. Okay. But if codomain, then the 10 will be included in your codomain. Okay. Because codomain means all your image. Domain means all your object. But range is just image yang ada sentuh saja. Okay. 21. Ashraf has a piece of land measuring 8 plus 3x meters long and x plus 5 meters wide. So let's draw it out so it's easy to imagine. So the panjang is 8 plus 3x in meters, x plus 5, the lebar, wide is lebar. He wants to divide into 3 equal parts along the length. So this is the length. So you want to 3 equal parts along the length. In bahasa Melayu, membahagikan panjang kepada 3 bahagian. So I think the panjang here I have to cut it into, I have to put 2 lines. Why I have to put 2 lines? So that it has 3 bahagian lah. Okay, don't put 3 lines. If you put 3 lines, it becomes 4 bahagian already. Okay, just put 2 lines. 2 lines in the middle, then 1, 2, 3. Okay, next part is what? Also 4 equal parts along the width. So he wants to divide 3 equal parts along the length and 4 equal parts along the width. So this is the width. So how I should divide this width into 4 equal parts? It means I will put 3 lines. 1, 2, 3, and then enough. Okay, don't put 4 lines. If you put 4 lines, there will be 5 bahagian already. So let's count betul the other 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, the width is divided into 4 equal parts. All right. Okay, now what? A part of the land, okay, a part, so it's one part like this, will be planted with banana trees. So this is the area with banana trees. Determine the area of the land in terms of X. Satu bahagian akan ditanam dengan pokok pisang. Tentukan luas tanah itu dalam sebutan X. So I have to find the area of this small rectangle. Okay, how to find? First, we take the big area, 8 plus 3x times with x plus 5. Okay, when we do this, we get all the areas, but we have to divide with 12. Why divide with 12? Because there's 12 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's why this is your answer. Okay, so now I'll explain this lah. Okay, I want you to know something. All these parts they should have the same size. Even though I draw where my drawing doesn't look like they have the same size, but it is the same size because I divided into 3 equal parts along the length and 4 equal parts along the width. So definitely all these rectangle will have the same size. That's why you have to divide. That's why you can divide by 12 lah. Okay, how to expand this? 8 times x, it's 8x. 8 times 5, it's 40, and then 3x times x, 3x squared, and then 3x times 5, 15x, right? And then you can simplify this. Okay, it becomes what? 3x squared. Okay, 8x and 8x and 15x, you can use calculator, right? 8 plus 5 is, this one is 5 or 15? Wait, 8 and x, 3x, this one 15x. So 8x plus 15x, you get 23x. And then the last one is just plus 40 and over 12. Okay, I explain one more time. The 3x squared, I tulis depan. 8x plus 15x, you can do it, 23x, and then plus 40 over 12. So the answer is D. 22. Puan Inshira receives a salary of 6750 and the income from a rental is 500. So this is income, okay, passive income. And then she also has fixed expenses. So this is the expenses and variable expenses 950 in a month. Calculate Puan Inshira monthly cash flow. The cash flow formula is very simple. Just take the total income minus the total expenses, right? Minus total expenses. So what you will do in your calculator, what you will press? You will press 6750 plus 500. Why plus 500? Because 500 is the rent earned by her. So this is the income 500. And then minus 4600. Let's press. And then minus 950. Okay, my calculator give me 1700. So the answer is B. Okay. And they also ask for monthly, right? And everything is in month. Salary also per month. Rent also per month. Yeah. Okay. What about 23? In a poster drawing competition, Hazizi scored 5 times Ashanti scored and their total score was 6R. If Zach obtained 15 marks more than Hazizi, express Zach's marks in terms of R. Okay, I think this one you can use ratio, or you can also use probability to do it. Okay, let me explain using this. I will draw a tree diagram. This one we call it tree diagram. So the total marks is 6R, right? And Hazizi, and we have 2 persons. One is Hazizi, his name is Hazizi, and then another name is Ashanti. Okay, even though I don't know their marks separately, but I know the total mark is 6R, and I also know Hazizi scored 5 times Ashanti's marks. It means if this is ratio 1, this will be ratio 5. That's what it means. Okay, because Hazizi's marks is 5 times this mark. So let's say this Ashanti's get 2 marks. It means Hazizi will get 10 marks because 2 times 5. It means, what if Ashanti get 3 marks? Then Hazizi will be 3 times 5, which is 15. That's what it means. That's why if this is ratio 1, this is ratio 5. Okay, and ratio you can convert to probability, right? So how to convert to probability? If I want to get Hazizi marks, it will be 5 over 6 times 6R. Because Hazizi's ratio is 5. Total ratio is 6. So 5 over 6 times with the total, then you will get Hazizi marks. 6 and 6 cut. It means Hazizi's marks is 5R. What about Ashanti? Ashanti will be 1 over 6. Okay. Times with the total, then you will get Ashanti's marks. You will get R. So 5R is Hazizi's marks. R is Ashanti's marks. If Zach obtained 15 marks more than Hazizi, so Zach marks is how much? Zach. It will be Hazizi's marks plus 15, which is 5R plus 15. And then what they want? Express Zach's marks is in terms of R. This one, 5R plus 15, the answer is B. Okay. 24, given the coordinate of C and D is this and this, calculate the midpoint. So how to find midpoint? The formula is x plus x divide 2, x1 plus x2 divide 2, y1 plus y2 divide 2. This is the formula for midpoint. This formula I think is given in the exam also. Okay, so just put in the x coordinate plus x coordinate, negative 8 plus 6 divide 2, and then 7 plus 13 divide 2. Negative 8 plus 6 divide 2, use calculator, you get negative 1, and then 7 plus 13 is 20, divide 2 is 10. So the answer is C, right? This one just use your calculator. But make sure when you press calculator, you press negative 8 plus 6 equals first. Equal first, then only you divide 2. Don't straight away press the whole thing. If you press the whole thing, the calculator will do 6 divide 2 first. Then it's wrong already. So make sure you tekan also, you tekan carefully. Alright, 25. Diagram 9 shows the components in mathematical modeling. This is from 5 chapter 8. Right? This chapter sangat jarang keluar. Okay, sangat jarang keluar. But when it's keluar, it always asks about these steps. Right? So far I do so many trial set. This is the second mathematical modeling question I jumpa. The first mathematical modeling question I jumpa is in, I don't remember which state paper, but they also ask this about the step. Okay, I think it's Malacca paper 1. Yeah, I'm not sure. But they also ask this step. Okay, so how to do? Which of the following sequence shows the correct modeling process? Okay, I will tell you now. Making assumption and identifying the variable. Andaian boleh ubah. This is step number. Mengaplikasikan matematik, aplikasi matematik. This is step number 3. Okay. Report, this one the last step. 6. Okay. Identify problem, step number 1. Masalah. Memurnikan, refine. This one is the second step. So step 5. Okay. And then sahkan is step number 4. Right. Okay, so let's see ABCD. Which one is the answer? So we start with S, P, Q, S, P, Q, U, T, R. S, P, Q. So the answer is A, right? Okay, the answer is A. Okay, let me explain a bit. Okay, actually, there's nothing much to explain. You just have to hafal. Okay, you just have to hafal. Okay, so just hafal the keyword. Okay, for mathematical modeling, step 1, the keyword here is masalah. Okay, masalah. I always we just hafal using keyword. You don't have to hafal the whole thing. Just hafal using keyword. So the first step, M stands for masalah. And then the second step, I use AP. Okay, what is A and P? A is andaian. And then P is pemboleh ubah. Okay. In English, andaian is the assumption. Pemboleh ubah is the variable. What about 3? 3 is mathematic. Okay, math. Okay. And then number 4, we will sah. Number 5, we murni. And then the 6th one is lapor. Okay, so I just hafal using the keyword. So masalah, step 1, problem. Step 2, AP, andaian pemboleh ubah. Step 3, mathematic. Step 4, sahkan ataupun verify in English. Number 5 is murni. Murni is refine. And then 6 is lapor, report. Itu saja, right? So nothing much to explain actually. You just have to hafal the step, right? There's no, how to say, tak ada teknik dekat sini, tak ada apa, just hafal saja. Alright. 26. Diagram 10 shows a deductive argument. Premise 1, all regular polygon has equal sides. Premise 2, PQRST have equal sides. Conclusion, PQRST is a regular polygon. Determine whether the argument above are valid and sound. So A, B, C, D like that. Alright, so let's talk about how to know whether it's valid or not valid. So if you want to know valid or not, we have to check the format. We have to check the format. Okay, what format? Okay, we have 3 format you have to hafal. The first format is, we call it model 1. Okay, model 1 is, if the premise 1 will be all A are B. All A are B. And then premise 2, C is A. And then conclusion, C is B. So this is the first format yang you kena tahu. Right? Second format, okay, model 2, second format. The premise 1 is, if P, then Q. Okay. And then the premise 2, P is true. And then conclusion, Q is true. Okay, Q is true. Okay. What about model 3? Model 3, the premise 1 is same with just now. If P, then Q. If P, then Q. And then the premise 2, you have to mention Q first. So Q is not true. And then conclusion, P is also not true. P is not true. So how do we know whether it's valid or not? If the other follow one of the valid argument, then we say valid lah. Alright. If they got follow any one of this format, then we say it's valid. Right? If it doesn't follow, it's not valid. For example, if P then Q, and then premise 2, I give you Q is true, and then conclusion, I say P is true. So valid or not valid? Not valid lah. Because if it doesn't follow any of this, then it's not valid. So if it has to be valid, it has to follow exactly like this. So let's see this argument. All regular polygon has before that, I want to explain what is sound also. Okay, so how to know whether sound or not sound? Sound, we just check whether it's true or false. Okay, so if you want to know valid, we check whether they got follow the format. If you want to know sound or not, we check whether true or false. All right, if one of the premise or ataupun the conclusion is false, then the whole thing is not sound. All right, that's what it means. Okay, and one more thing, I put star here. If the argument is not valid, then it's automatic not sound. Okay, if it's not valid, automatic not sound. Okay, in your textbook, your textbook is wrong. You know, your textbook is wrong because your textbook got one example where they put not valid but sound, but the textbook salah. Okay, actually, if it's not valid, it's automatic not sound already. So you don't follow the textbook, you follow what I cakap sekarang. If it's not valid, one day if the argument is tak ada follow format, it's straight away not sound already, right? So let's look at this. Is it valid or not? All regular polygon has equal sides. So obviously this is the A, this is the B. Okay, so this is definitely like look like the model 1, right? All A are B. So all regular polygon is A, this one is the B. PQRST, this is the C, have equal sides. Equal sides is B, all right? And then this one, PQRST is C, regular polygon is A. So is it valid or not valid? Not valid. It doesn't even follow model 1 because model 1 has to be all A are B, C is A, baru C is B. This one they mention C with B dulu. So dia tak betul dah. Alright. Dia kena mention PQRST is regular polygon and then PQRST have equal sides. Then only is valid. So this one is not valid. So if it's not valid, automatic is not sound. So the answer is D. Alright. Dia tak boleh not valid sound. Dia tak boleh. Alright. I know your textbook got show one example yang not valid sound, but I mentioned already the textbook wrong. Okay. I want to mention a bit. I want to tambah sikit. For the sound or not sound, you will check whether they are true or false, right? Okay. So let's say one of the premise is false, then we say not sound lah. But if let's say one is if all true, then only we sound. But if it's not valid, you don't have to check already. If not valid, it will automatic not sound. So it means your answer is either valid sound, ataupun valid not sound, or it can also be not valid, not sound, and that's all. That's all. Your answer is either valid sound, valid not sound, or not valid not sound. Dia tak boleh jadi not valid sound. It's not possible. Okay. because it's not if it's not valid, it's automatic not sound already. So it's either valid sound, valid not sound. No, yeah, right? Okay, let's go. 28. Diagram 11 shows a Venn diagram J, K, and L. Lists all the elements of J complement. J complements means Selain daripada J. Selain daripada J means this is J, right? So this is J. So selain daripada J means everything except J. Everything in the universal except J. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Answer is D. 29. Diagram 12 shows a graph with loops and multiple edges. This one is loop, right? And then this one is multiple edges. This one looks like loop, but it's not loop. Hey, wait, what is loop? Loop is when the edge come out from the vertex and go back to the same vertex. What is multiple edges? Multiple edges if got involved two vertex and there's more than one edge connecting the two vertex. Then it's multiple edges. Okay, state the sum of degree. Sum of degree formula is like this. Sum of degree, this symbol is, it means sum. The formula is 2 direct number of edges. All right, 2 direct number of edges. What is 2 direct number of edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. So 2 times 7, 14. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I forgot this. So 2 times 8. So the answer is 16. So the answer is A. All right. Okay, let me explain a bit. These loops we only count it as one edges. Okay, because only it comes up from the same vertex and go back to the same vertex. So it's just one edges, and then 2, 3. This one we carry two edges. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you times 2. Okay, but there are some questions where you cannot use this formula. Bila masa baru kita tak boleh guna formula ni? When they ask you to find degree of one vertex. If they want you to find degree of one vertex, then you have to do it separately. Okay, you have to do it separately. So I want to teach you how to find separately also. So I'll explain it very fast. Okay, sometimes if they want to find sum of degree, then you can take 2 times number of edges. But this formula you can only use when you want to find the total sum of degree of all the vertex. Then only you can use this formula. But sometimes they will ask you to find degree of vertex R. Then you cannot use the 2 times number of edges formula. Because if they ask for one single vertex punya degree, you have to know how to calculate separately. So let's calculate the degree of vertex P. How do I know the degree of vertex P is how much? You see got how many line passes through P. So got how many line? 1, 2, okay, let's use blue color. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 4. So remember, for loops, we kira 2 degree. Okay, so for loops, there will be 2 degree. One here, one here. One going in, one going out. Okay, but if we want to kira edge loops, we only count it as 1 edges. But for degree, we will kira 2 degree like that, right? Okay, let's look at Q punya degree. 1, 2, 3. So how many line passes through Q? 3. What about R? R got how many line passes through? 1 and 2 only. What about S? S got 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then T got 1, 2, 3, 4. And plus all these together, you will get 16. Right? Let's press calculator. Plus 2, plus 3, plus 4. Yeah, you get 16. All right. So you can use this method. You can also use this method. All right. But I want you to know both. I want you to know both because sometimes they will not ask for the sum. If they ask for sum, only you can use this formula 2 times number of edges. Sometimes they just want you to find single, like for example, just degree of vertex S. Then you cannot use this formula. You have to do it like this, right? So make sure you know how to calculate using the formula. You also know how to calculate separately. You have to know both. Okay, number 30. Diagram 13 shows a cubic, so it's a cube. So this is definitely same length. Given the area of each surface, so one surface like this is 784 cm square. The luas permukaan. Calculate in cm the side of the cube. This one's so easy. How to do? Hey, they already say it's cubic so if they say area of surface is 784, it means the area of square lah. The area of square is 784. But since all 4 is same length, but we don't know the length, we just call it x. So it means x times x is 784. X times x is x squared, right? 784. So how to find x? Square root 784. So when you press, the answer is 28. So this is 28. And what's the unit? Since 784 is in cm square, when you square root it, you will get cm. So, and they also ask to find cm. So D is the answer. Okay. I think this one, nothing much lah. Very simple. So yeah, nothing to explain. Number 31, Diagram 14 shows a box plot. Okay, box plot. Okay, box plot, you kena tahu what is this, and then what is this line, this line, this line. Okay, this is the minimum value. This is the maximum value. And then this one is the Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, which of the following is true? Range. Okay, what is the range? Okay, they give you range and IQR. Huh? So what is range? Range is the Julat formula is maximum minus minimum. Maximum is 70 minus minimum 10. So the range should be 60. So this one wrong. This one wrong. What about the IQR? The interquartile range. Formula is Q3 minus Q1. So what is the Q3? 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 55. What is the Q1? 30. So when you minus, you will get 25. So the answer is B. Right? Very easy. Number 32, diagram 15 is an O-GIF showing the marks of a group of students. So this is an O-GIF. So definitely all these numbers is the upper boundary. Okay, and then everything on the y-axis they use cumulative, right? And then what else they want? Calculate the interquartile range. It means they want to find Q3 minus Q1, right? So interquartile range formula Q3 minus Q1. Okay, how do we get the Q3 and Q1 from O-GIF? So if I want to find Q1, I have to first take 1/4 times with the total frequency 60. Okay, but if I want to find Q3, I have to take 3/4 times 60. But what if I want to find Q2, the median? Then I take 1/2. Ataupun 2/4 lah. 2/4 is 1/2 times 60, right? But we don't have to do that because they only want the Q1, Q3. Okay, 1/4 times 60 is 15. 3/4 times 60 is 45. But this is not the answer yet. You still have to go to your graph, cari your 15. Okay, let's use red color. You have to go to your graph, cari your 15, and then tarik satu line like this, right? And the moment dia sentuh, you tarik bawah, right? And then you put an arrow here, and then you baca this. That is your Q1. So let's baca. What is this? 50.5, 60.5, middle. So 55.5. This is your Q1. What about your Q3? First, you take 3/4 times 60, you get 45, but this is not your Q3 yet. You have to go to your graph, go to 45, and then garis. And the moment you sentuh the curve, okay, actually, if you look carefully, dia sentuh curve dekat mana? Okay, let's, yeah. So if you look carefully, it's actually in the half kotak. Can you see? It's like here, right? So if it's here, when you tarik, you have to baca middle. So you tarik, okay, use ruler. So you tarik using ruler. When you join, you have to baca here actually. Okay. So how to baca this? So imagine this is 70.5, and then this is 80.5, and then you have 10 kotak in between. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And your arrow is here, you know. So how do we read this? Okay, here to here you plus 10, right? Because if you take 80.5 minus 75, you will get 10. It means one kotak kecil here is 10 divided 10, which is 1. So if here, this would be 71.5, and then 72.5, 73.5, 74.5, 75.5, 75.5, 76.5, 77.5, 78.5, 79.5, 80.5. So if you want to find here, it will be 70.5 and 71.5 middle. So how to find the middle? Take 70.5 plus 71.5 divide 2. So let me press 70.5 plus 71.5 equals, and then divide 2. My calculator give me 71. So my Q3 is actually 71. And then my final step is just to take Q3 minus Q1. So 71 minus 55.5. Okay, my calculator give me 55.5. If don't have answer, I just choose the near one, the paling dekat. So ada jawapan lah. So the answer is A. Alright, so that's how you do it. Number 33. Darissa is a fruit retailer. She has a stock of 150 orange. Okay. On Friday, she managed to sell 30 orange. Find the probability that Darissa managed to sell an orange on Friday. So the formula, this is probability. The formula for probability is you take the number divide by the total. NS is total, right? So you want to find the probability that orange sold on Friday. So sold on Friday. So I will find probability of sold on Friday, right? The formula is you have to take the number of oranges sold on Friday, divide total. The number of oranges sold on Friday is 30, the total is 150. Potong, 1/5. 34. Class 5 Topaz has 42 students and 15 of them are boys. 9 boys and 17 girls left the class when the bell rang. If a student is chosen at random from the remaining students, find the probability that chosen student is a girl. Okay, this one I will explain using tree diagram, right? Because the information is very, if you just read like this, it's very easy to buat salah, right? So I'll try to conteng, right? So 42 students, we start with 42. And of course, it's either you are a boy or you are a girl, right? There's no in between. 15 are boys, so 15. So 15, 15. So I'll write the 15 here. Okay. So if the 15 is boys, how many girls? 42 minus 15. So I press. So I'll get 27. 27, right? So this is 27. But then now what happened? 9 boys and 17 girls left the class. So what happens to your total now? Your total is no longer 42. It will be 42 minus 9 minus 17. Let's press. 42 minus 9 minus 17. So I got 16. So now your total only 16 left. But then how many boys, how many girls? It's not 15. It will be 15 minus 9, which is 6, right? And what about the 27 girls? Have to minus 17 becomes 10, right? And if you take 6 plus 10, you will really get 16, right? And then they say if a student is student random, find the probability that chosen girl. Okay, how to find probability of girl? You will put, you will take the number of girl atas and then total bawah. So the number of girl is 10 now. And then the total is 16. So that's the answer. Potong potong, divided by 2 is 5, divided by 2 is 8. So the answer is B, right? 35. Diagram 16 shows a two right angle triangle. Okay, 90 degree. PQR and SQT. PQT is a straight line. Okay, no problem. So definitely this is trigo, right? Because right angle triangle. Given cos x is 3/5. Okay, cos formula is what? So ka to. So cos is ka. So adjacent hypotenuse. But let's go and find the angle x first. So look at your angle x. Is it inside the right angle triangle or outside? It's inside. Okay, why I have to ask like that? Why I always ask whether the angle is inside or outside? Because if it's inside the right angle triangle, you can straight away determine your opposite hypotenuse adjacent. But if it's outside, what you have to do? You have to change. You have to take the reference angle. Okay, you have to take the quadrant 1 angle. So if let's say the angle is outside the triangle, it means it's either quadrant 2 or quadrant 3 or quadrant 4, right? So if, for example, if it's quadrant 2, what you have to do? You have to take 180 minus to change to quadrant 1. But if it's quadrant 3, you take angle minus 180. If quadrant 4, you take 360 minus. But this one is like only if your angle is outside. Because if it's outside the triangle, it means your angle is more than 90 degree. So it's either quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. Then what you do is you change to quadrant 1 using this formula. Okay. And then after you change to quadrant 1, then your angle will be inside the right angle. Then you can do it normally already. Okay. But of course, you have to consider add sugar to coffee and see whether you need to tambah negative or not. But that one, don't worry. That one, don't worry. I will explain later. So cos x is 3/5. So x is here, right? So which one is your opposite? Your opposite will be your QR, right? So, okay, the S is blocking here, so I'll just draw it again. So this is your X, this is your RQ, this is your 10 cm, this is your P. So depan angle, this is the opposite. And then depan 90, this is the hypotenuse. And then the left over the remaining one, that's the adjacent. And they say adjacent is 3. So PQ here, I'll write 3. But you have to bulatkan, because the 3 is not the actual length, it's just the ratio. And then hypotenuse is 5, hypotenuse is 5, so 5. But bulatkan, right? Okay, if you look at 5, this is not the actual length. This is just the ratio. The actual length is actually 10 cm. So 5, how to become 10? Times 2, right? So 3 also times 2, so it is 6 cm. So if I have here 10 cm, here 6 cm, can I find this? Can I find the QR? The answer is yes. How to find? You can use Pythagoras theorem. Square root, bracket square, 10 square, and then 6 square. But you're minus. Why minus? Because you're not, you will only plus when you're finding the hypotenuse, the longest one. If you're not finding the longest one, you will minus. So now you press calculator, 10 square minus 6 square, 64, and then square root 64 is 8. So rupanya, this whole thing is 8. Okay. And then they also mention S is the midpoint of QR. So if S is the midpoint of QR, means this is 4, this is 4. Because the whole thing I already calculate is 8. So this is 4, this is 4. And then they want to find tangent Y. Okay, let me ask you. Your Y angle, is it inside a right angle or outside? It's outside. So, and why is it outside? Because it's not quadrant 1. It's quadrant 2, quadrant 3, or quadrant 4. Look at the angle. It looks like this. Like this is 90 degree, but your angle is like this. So definitely it's already more than 90 degree, but lesser than 180. So this is quadrant 2. So if it's quadrant 2, what you have to do? You have to take 180 minus So, and then to convert to quadrant 1, okay, means you find the reference angle. So what happens when you take 180 minus y? You will get here, right? So because straight line is 180. So now what you do is, instead of using this angle, you will use this angle to do, right? You will use this angle, right? So when you use this angle, now you can determine your opposite, and then your hypotenuse and your adjacent, right? So what they want now is tangent. So tangent formula is opposite divide adjacent. Your opposite don't have, but your adjacent is 4, right? So how to find your opposite? Use Pythagoras theorem lah, because you already have the panjang here is 4. So how to find QT? So your QT will be square root, bracket square, bracket square. Here you put 5, here you put 4. Okay, plus or minus? You want to find QT, plus or minus? Minus, because you are finding the shorter side. You are not finding the longer side. Only you will plus when you're finding the longer side. All right. 5 square minus 4 square is 9, and then you'll get 3. So this is 3. So QT is 3. Right. So the formula for tangent y is opposite over adjacent. The opposite is because your y is here, right? But it's okay. You can use the quadrant 1 angle. Fine. So the corresponding reference angle. Okay, this is the corresponding angle for y. So the opposite is 3 and the adjacent is 4. But if you bullet A, salah. Okay, salah. Because tangent y is not 3 over 4. Make sure you look at this. Your y is in which quadrant? Quadrant 2. So you still have to consider quadrant positive or negative. So this one all positive, sine positive, tangent cos, add sugar to coffee. So if in quadrant 2 7 positive, only sine positive. That's why you have to add negative here. So the answer should be C. Right? Let me explain. Tangent y is not 3 over 4. 3 over 4 is the answer for tangent y punya reference angle. I repeat one more time. 3 over 4 is the answer for tangent y punya reference angle. So to get tangent y, it means the reference angle will only help you get this value. You still have to make sure, because your real angle y is actually quadrant 2. That's why you have to check whether you have to tambah negative or not. Right? And for this case, you have to tambah, because in second quadrant, only sine positive. Okay, so yang tu kena tahu. Let's continue. 36. Given that P over Q square equals K, where K is constant, which statement is true? So everything they put in varies directly, varies inversely. So this is variation, right? So P equals to the Q square, we can move it over, it becomes KQ square. So definitely it's P varies directly as Q square. It means like this, right? This is the symbol for relationship, okay? So inversely salah, directly A is the answer. B cannot, because they say square root. Okay, this is square, not square root. Right? Sudah siap. 37. Which of the following risk is not covered by insurance? So insurance is to protect you. Okay, it's not protect you. It's a method of protection. Okay, to how to say, to help you, right? To help you against risk. Okay, but they will help you by giving you some money. Okay, like they help you financially. Okay, let's read A. Loss while making investment, kerugian semasa membuat pelaburan. Okay, the answer is A. Okay, because when you make investment, the insurance don't cover this, because this is not a risk. Okay, it's okay. We just read B. Death due to old age. This one, yeah, this one, there's even one insurance for this. It's called the death insurance. Insurance kematian. So this one memang insurance ada cover. A broken leg due to accident. This one also, because accident is like it's like you cannot predict. Okay, so insurance can protect you against, can help you. Loss of luggage also, this one is travel insurance. Okay, so A lah. Loss while making investment, this one is not a risk. Okay, this one is not a risk. If you rugi masa pelaburan, it's like, okay, it's your choice, right? You made the choice to labor. Okay, death due to old age, broken leg, accident, lost luggage, these are not your choice. Okay, it's like you can't predict it. Okay, so the answer is A lah. Nothing much to explain lah. You just, if you understand, you just have to understand the meaning of insurance. Okay, 38. Solve this. All right, this one is matrix, direct matrix. When you take matrix, direct matrix, you have to write down the order first. So this one is 2 row 1 column, 2 times 1. This one is 1 times 2. Why you have to write down order first? Because you have to check whether this number same or not. If it's not same, means cannot direct. Okay, for this one same lah. So the answer will be 2 row 2 column. So 1 2 3 4. So A B C D, which one is 2 row 2 column? Wrong. The answer is D. Okay, sudah siap. You don't even have to multiply, right? So you straight away know the answer is D. But I explain also lah. Okay, how you should darab. When you darab, you have to take horizontal times vertical. So to get this number, you have to take -3 times 7 like this. So -21. And then to get this number, it will be horizontal times 4. Horizontal -3 times 4. Okay, which is -12. And then here will be -3 times second row, but horizontal times vertical, 5 times 7, 35. And then 5 times 4, 20. Some students, they will do it like this. They will do like this, darab like this. Okay, wrong. If you do like this, means you take vertical, darab horizontal. Wrong already. You should always take horizontal times vertical, horizontal times vertical. Right? If your horizontal got one number only, then just let it be that one number lah. So that's the answer. Okay. Number 39, given blah, 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 find the value of M and N. Okay, this one is tambah tolak punya matrix. If darab bahagi, we have to write down the order. Okay, the order doesn't have to be the same. It's just that the number here and here have to be the same kalau darab. Okay, tapi kalau tambah tolak, the order have to be exactly same. So can you see the order is same? 2 row, 1 column, 2 row, 1 column, 2 row, exactly. That's why baru boleh tolak. So now I can write down 3M. This 4 you can actually darab masuk. So what happens is 4 times -2 is -8. 4 times 2 is 8. But in the middle, you have to write minus. Okay, some student will ask me this. Sir, the -4, I thought the -4 also have to, the negative also have to, how to say, have to expand, have to darab inside. Okay, can also. You want to take the -4, darab inside also can. But if you do like that, then make sure you write plus here. Can also. Okay, equals to n -5. Okay, now what you do is, atas tolak atas equals atas. Bawah tolak bawah sama dengan bawah. So atas tolak atas equal atas. So atas tolak atas equals atas. 3 minus -8 equals to n. Bawah tolak bawah equals bawah. So m minus 8 equals -5. So here will be n. 3 minus -8 is 3 plus 8, so 11. And then m, it will be -8, move there, become +8. -5 plus 8, if you use calculator, you get 3. So the answer is A. All right. So that's all. Finally, last question. Diagram 17 shows P and Q plotted on a square grid. Which of the point A, B, C, D is equidistant from P and Q? This is locus. This is locus. So, if it's locus, and they give you 2 points, P and Q, not PQ. If they say PQ, then it's different because this one is a line already. So, this type of locus, if they give you 2 points, so what you should do? Equidistant, so you will do a perpendicular bisector. So, I recommend using compass. Okay, so what you do is you go P, you cucuk P, you buat atas, you buat bawah. Okay, and then you cucuk Q, guna jangka lukis, and then buat sini, and then you draw a line, right? And then you see this line, which point A, B, C, D. So we see this line passes through which point lah. Okay, but of course my one is very ugly because my one never use compass. So make sure you use compass, right? So after you draw compass, it means you are drawing the perpendicular bisector, all right? The line that you draw, the one I show you just now, that's the perpendicular bisector. And you see A, B, C, D, which one got passes through? Only one of these answer will passes through. Okay, and the answer is A. Okay, since I don't have compass, okay, it's not because I don't have compass. Since I can't show you using the compass in my laptop screen, I will show you using another method, which is by counting the distance. So, for example, if I want to find distance from P to B and B to C, right? Okay, I want to make sure they are equidistant, right? So tell me now, this distance and this distance, are they equal? How do we do this? The line is a second line, so it's very hard to count how many kotak. So what you will do is count horizontal and vertical. So when you count horizontal, 1, 2, vertical, 1, 2, 3. It means this distance is actually 2 square plus 3 square and then square root. Means you use Pythagoras theorem, right? But we don't have time to do that. Okay, let's not do it. Okay, you just remember horizontal 2, vertical 3. That's the distance here, right? What about here? This one is horizontal 4, vertical 1. So you know definitely they are not the same distance because this one is 2 square plus 3 square baru square root. This one is 4 square, but of course it's different, right? That's why you don't have to calculate you don't have to square root. You just kira kotak pun you boleh tahu whether it's equidistant or not. Let's try with C. So for C, P to C, adakah P to C distance is equidistant with C to Q? Okay, let's count. We cannot count like this because it's second, so we count horizontal 1, 2, 3, 4, and then vertical 1. Horizontal 4, vertical 1. This one, horizontal 2, vertical 3. So not same also. What about PD and DQ? Okay, PD is just horizontal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one is horizontal 1, but vertical 1, 2, 3, 4. Not same also. The last one is This one will be the same, right? So let's erase this and see betul tak sama. P to A to Q. This one horizontal 1, vertical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Horizontal 1, vertical 5. What about this? Horizontal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, vertical 1. You see? 1, 5, 5, 1. Okay? So it means to get the distance here, you take square root 1 square plus 5 square. To get the distance here also, square root 5 square plus 1 square. Of course, you end up with the same value. All right? Because 5 square plus 1 square, 1 square plus 5 square, you end up with same. And then when you square it, of course, it's the same distance. So the answer is A. All right? But I will not press calculator because the question never asked me to find the distance also. They just ask which point is equidistant. All right? So make sure you bring compass to your exam because you will need it. All right? You need it to draw locus sometimes. And sometimes you also need it to find rotation center. So I'll stop here lah. So that's the end. Okay. Bye-bye.